We should be recording. Yeah.
All
So,
right, man.
what's up,
It's time,
Joey?
it's time to take a breath, Tom.
Happy Friday. Yeah, take a breath. And what a week. What a busy week.
That's a great T-shirt. Is that the Merge Analytics Happy Valley T-shirt?
Well, it's it's Happy Valley. And I gave these away at tailgate. S&PS Central PA meets S&PS Pitt. It was a great tailgate. So
Awesome.
they
I hope you.
landed.
I hope.
People,
I
people
hope you could do that again in the fall.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen this year. I don't think they're going to be opening up Beaver Stadium to 120,000 people. I just don't. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's going to be a big revenue loss.
Okay, so what are we talking about today?
Well, hey, the good news is web traffic intelligence is up. Custom URL intelligence is up.
Yep.
And we know that because we're in the business. So it's more important today to really track your customer and prospect journey. So much more important today. It's always important, but with people coming out of the red zone and going into the yellow zone, whatever that means, there are still a lot of precautions and just a lot of people, grabbing intelligence via home or via websites. So a lot of questions, a couple questions that I always get when I have discussions about web site intelligence and custom short URL intelligence and all the intelligence that Merge Analytics serves up is, wow, what do I do with all this intelligence? What do I do with all this stuff? I'm like, don't panic. It's a good thing to have more intelligence. It's a good thing. And then and ironically, another question or kind of comment is this creepy? Like, is this creepy that we are seeing this traffic or we have this information? And I want to squash that right now. Absolutely not. You need that intelligence, and that intelligence that we're serving up is really yours, and you may not even know that. So let's squash that. And then today, our homework was to talk about a couple industries and how they use the intelligence. So I came up with three companies. We've got a ton of stories. I came up with three companies, and then you can give me your three. But I'm going to talk about a commercial construction firm, a design firm, and a big tractor trailer company. Three different industries, three different ways they use intelligence. Sound good?
Sounds great, Tom. Why don't you give me one and I'll go and then you go?
Yeah. We'll just throw back and forth. A lot
right,
here to
let's go.
To throw stuff back and forth. Yeah,
there you go. So you
do,
got number one.
We'll start with commercial construction. Big commercial construction firm. They've been using our product for years, and when they see a company researching their website, and that company is it's fresh eyes or a new company, and they visit the site maybe 2 or 3 times in a week, that's an indicator that there's interest, whether it's building a church or a nursing home. And what they do, it's clever, is they want to keep a top of mind presence. So when they see that company visit their site 3 or 4 times in a week, they'll send hard packet of marketing material to the headquarters along with donuts or cookies or whatever it takes to kind of separate yourself and become a top of mind presence. So I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
No, and that's a good one. And I'll just to add a little bit to that before I get to mine. Commercial construction, for them, bidding early on projects and getting early information is everything. By the time they hear about an opportunity or read about it, it's too late to bid on it. Bingo. So when they see those companies doing due diligence, they're seeing the alerts come in and they see, oh, that company has a construction need. Let me send them some cupcakes and some materials. They're getting earlier chances to bid and win business. So that was a good one.
Absolutely. And
that's one of my favorite ones.
One more point to that is if you, for our audience, if you don't have intelligence that's serving up prospect and customer the full journey, and call us if you want to talk about what that actually means.
Hmm.
You're behind.
Right.
Your competitors do. So
Right.
just so
Oh,
you
they're
know, yeah,
all the big boys.
yeah,
Every
yeah,
company is doing this. I
yeah,
mean, I shouldn't say every
yeah.
company, but I know for a fact there's much larger companies than us doing this on a much larger scale.
Right.
So it's
A
if
lot
you're
more
not doing
money.
it,
Yeah, they're spending a lot more money.
if you're not doing it, you're that's the whole point of merge analytics is we're leveling the playing field for the
Right.
small and medium sized business. All the large companies are doing this. Okay, I go. I'm gonna use us. We have another company. Show the cup. Vigilus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Tom and I have been partners for a long time. We have another software company called Vigilus, and they're an owner of they're an owner of Merge Analytics. But so our head developer, the guy who developed Merge Analytics, who's now our partner, our equal partner in Merge Analytics, Mike Kinder, developed what's now Merge Analytics a few years ago and was like, guys, I think you'd like this tool. And Tom and I are like, what we were selling was very different than Merge Analytics. It was a much longer sales cycle, much larger companies that we were dealing with. It was just different. And so we didn't care. We didn't think we cared about seeing the people on our website. Really, our website wasn't all that great. We didn't think anybody spent much time on it. So Mike's like, I'm just going to put it on your website. And what happened next was why we have a business right now, because we started getting alerts and it was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. But then it wasn't so much for brand new prospects that we fell in love with Merge Analytics. We fell in love with Merge Analytics because we saw when our existing customers were trying to do some self-service support. So they were spending time on pages on our website. And we're like, this guy's trying to figure out something. They need support. I'm going to reach out to them and see if I can help them based on this topic. Obviously, I wouldn't say, hey, I know you're on my website.
Right.
But I would say, hey, we haven't talked about training in this area. And my contact would be like, wow, that's crazy. I was on your website the other day, and that's exactly
You're
what I
reading my
need.
mind.
So there it cuts right through all the stuff. Like, because we saw that, I was able to zero in on that account and support them better than I would have without that information.
Bingo.
And the same thing though, in addition to support, I could also tell if they were interested in some of the other products and services that we were offering.
Right.
So I was able to support them and upsell them, because we all know our customers are our best prospects, right? That's true for every business. So it was helping us support and upsell our customers. And we're like, wow, if we're getting this benefit, other people will be getting this benefit. And that was the genesis of what is now Merge Analytics. You're up, kiddo.
Yeah, no, I love that. I mean, and how exciting was that when we first got the intelligence and just having that information at our fingertips to just really guide our customers to the next stage and whatever that is. But
Well,
so
real quick, just one other anecdotal story. But I remember this like it was yesterday. A few years ago, we were I was out with my wife to dinner, and I got an alert that showed one of our customers was all over our website. I'm like, honey, this is great. Look at this. I'm going to close a nice deal with this account.
right.
And she looked at it and she's like, that's great, but this report is amazing. This is what you should be selling. And
Right.
that was also part of it. So sorry, go ahead.
Awesome. Well, number two, we've got a lot of marketing and media companies using our product. Some out of the box, some they white label. That's another discussion, but our white labeling efforts have really taken off and have really benefited our partners for their clients, especially in this COVID-19 period. So that we need to do a specific podcast for, because it's very exciting. But this one marketing company, I'm always amazed at the different ways people are using the intelligence. And this one was unique because I didn't really think about it too much. But they used the intelligence that came through to inject energy into their corporate culture. Now, what does that
Nice one.
mean? So when they are courting a client or a new prospect, when they start seeing that prospect do their due diligence, they'll be coming to the website. They'll be coming to different pages. They'll be researching the company. And that was their sign saying, hey, floor, all hands on deck. Let's put our best foot forward. There's obviously interest here, knowing there's interest, and then injecting that positive energy, which I thought was very exciting. And I'm gonna combine two industries here. That's one example, and then we have a design firm that uses the intelligence similarly, where the design firms, they get one shot at pitching their design. And so to have the intelligence that the potential prospect is looking at a specific design, or they might switch gears, to have that intelligence to craft your pitch before going in is so important. You get one shot, just like an actor gets one shot on stage, you know. And
So it's
I
like
just thought that was
It's like the Eminem song.
exactly. so I kind of combined two there, but I thought they are very unique ways to use the intelligence to inject the marketing firm injected into their corporate culture and just get people excited on the floor and say, hey, hands on deck. They're
It,
interested. So yeah.
it's like, hey, we've been courting this company and now we're getting the alerts. It's working.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
good job,
Yeah.
guys.
We thought maybe they weren't interested, and they are. Yeah.
Well, that kind of plays into my next one. Are you ready for my next one?
I am. Yeah. Go for
Good.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we work with an executive search firm, and this executive search firm works in the biosciences, pharmaceutical industry space. And they were so basically what happens is like let's say in this case it was Amgen was coming out with a new drug, and they wanted to have a marketing and a sales team to market and sell that drug. So they needed people to fill those positions to do that. And so the company that we work with traveled out to Texas, and they presented, this is how we can help you. These are, this is what we've done in the past, all that type of thing. They presented, they came home, and they didn't hear from them for weeks. And they thought they were okay. We went out there, we presented, they touched base with them, but they didn't really, the interest, they didn't feel like they were winning. They were going to win the project.
Right.
And then they started getting merged analytics alerts from Amgen, and they could see where they were really getting hung up on this executive search firm. Like they were zeroing in on specific pages on their website. And so as these alerts were coming into the executive search firm, they were proactively reacting to it and sending them white papers and stuff that reinforce what they could tell that Amgen was interested in. And they ended up winning the deal. And the executive search firm is quite positive, or quite sure anyway, that they wouldn't have won the deal without that extra intelligence that was delivered to them from merged analytics. So I love that story. And
Yes. Yeah.
yeah. So
Sorry. There might be a little noise behind me.
none.
Oh, good. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I love that story too. It's just, I just, again, Joe and I, we have so many stories about how companies use their intelligence. Any of our customers out there that have new stories, please come our way. And I know Joey does a great job of writing blogs around this topic too. So please go to our website and read Joey's blogs around it. But my third one here is it's a big tractor trailer company. They sell tractor trailers, and this one I love because this one excites me because they've been using our product for years, but they were connecting the dots between site intelligence and actually selling a specific model. So when the intelligence comes in, they know exactly what model of trailer that this particular company needs, so that they can slice that sales cycle in half. And what was so exciting about this example is this tractor trailer company, they were connecting the dots between site intelligence and sales within 45 days of trying our product. So
wow.
they were selling trailers because of the site intelligence that was delivered, which probably paid for merge analytics, I would think, for the next 2 decades or 3 decades, just on a sale or two. So I love that. I love that story, and I just love that example. So just another industry using our intelligence, another specific way, and it's a good success story.
Well, yeah, and we talk about this all the time. The intelligence that comes in, and just it's based on what business, even businesses in the same industry use this intelligence in so many different ways. And I love hearing ways like these stories that we're telling. I was going to talk about how marketing companies and how website development companies are white labeling and integrating our analytic tool with their offerings. But you're right, we should save that for its own podcast. The last one that I have is a guy who's a good friend of mine, but he uses Merge Analytics. He had a company, and for various reasons, he had to close that company and start a new company. Who basically they did the same thing as the old company. But so what he wanted was he wanted to see who was going to the old website. That business doesn't exist anymore,
Right.
and he wanted to make sure that if they were going to the old website, that he would get that information, contact them, and say, "Hey, I'm over here now." Type of thing.
I'm not over. It's not, I'm not closed up.
Yeah, so
That's smart. Yeah.
he would never have known
Right.
who, if people were still going to his other website,
Right.
unless he had Merge Analytics and can then proactively contact these people and say, hey, thank you for being over here. Now we're over there, type of thing.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. To
So
that point, it's also last few months, a lot of companies have taken this opportunity to do website upgrades.
yeah,
To that point, like if you know which pages or where your audiences are are going, you can improve upon that, and you can craft and update your website based on real frontline intelligence rather than just guessing.
yeah.
So you just reminded me of that, and that's how people use the intelligence as well. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, we have so many more
I
stories.
know we could
And,
talk for 5 hours on this.
and we'll have another one where
Yeah,
we talk about some
yeah,
others, but we did want to keep it to 15 minutes,
I know.
and
What are we? I think we might have kept it there, but we'll
yeah,
find out.
yeah,
Joey, this is great. I love these because
yeah,
they're I just love talking about. I love talking about success stories and how people are using it. And like I said, every day I hear new ways people are using the intelligence. And the walkaway is if companies out there you're not getting this intelligence, you need it. Clicks and opens, they're nice, but if you're not capturing the full customer prospect journey, first of all, if you don't know what that means, please contact us and we'll talk about it. If you're not capturing that full journey, you're missing
and,
out. Yeah.
and if you're thinking the barrier is this is too expensive, you're also
Right.
not right.
Yeah, right. Right.
We are trying to level the playing field. All the large companies are doing this stuff much more invasively than we are, and for a little bit amount of money, you can increase your sales efforts and marketing. So
Happy Friday, dude.
happy Friday, man.
We're getting some beautiful weather here today and
Yeah,
tomorrow. So
yeah,
I think May has finally arrived. My
yeah.
hostas are smiling again,
There you go.
and I am just ready. I'm ready for a weekend. Yeah.
You deserve it. This was we worked hard this week,
You
and
do too, buddy.
yeah, man.
Yeah.
So thanks, Tommy.
Cheers.
I'll
I'll
talk to
talk
you.
to you.
All right.